Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. I am Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated host, and I'm so glad that you are here with me this morning. You are not in the wrong place. This is Straight Talk with Ricky Rebel, and he was actually way earlier than me, and then for some reason his internet just said I need to go to Starbucks, so he's on his way to Starbucks to join us. But I am here to take you through breakfast before he gets here, and then we're gonna have a great time talking about holiday blues, Baaa Humbug, and most of to talk about how beautiful the holidays can be. But let's see. We're going to start with breakfast, which is what I've been doing for the last 2 years, I think, starting this show. This is a consecutive week 659. And I'm so glad that the people said that this show about hope and happiness would not last more than a year. I am so glad that they're wrong, because we are on 12.8 years, I think now. In May, it'll be 13. So I'm just so delighted that you're here to join me for breakfast, which is top of the bun, things that we're grateful for that are outside of ourselves. And on the bottom of the bun, things that we're grateful for inside ourselves. So that is what breakfast consists of. And I'm going to start. And please, if you're driving and listening on the AM FM side, please do not put your gratitudes in the chat. But if you've landed somewhere and you're on my free subscribe YouTube TV channel, then please do go and have breakfast with me and tell me what you're grateful for. So I am grateful for the beautiful full moons that we've been having. I don't know if you saw 2 nights ago, I turned a corner and then there's this, I just love it when they're that gold parchment paper giant. And no matter if you take, unless you have a Hubble camera, I can never get it to look like how it seems when I first look at it, but it was beautiful. So I'm grateful that we can see the constellations. I'm grateful that the planets did not crash into each other last night, and we're alive today to enjoy another day above ground and the ability to create and love and care and sing and innovate and talk. I am grateful that this is the season of joy, that we get a chance to get together with people that maybe we don't see all year, or get a chance to just celebrate and try to see the best. But I'm skipping ahead to our topic. I am grateful that there's more than one way for my co-host to connect on technology. I'm grateful that hashtag COVID silver lining, I get to broadcast from my living room and not have to drive out my former studio in Sunset Gower, which was quite a ways away from Long Beach on the beach, or the KCAA headquarters. I think it's Riverside. I'm in the IE. I'm not that familiar with, but it's far. Let's just put it that way. I'm grateful that I have a car that I can get around. And finally, I am grateful that I get to, let's see, I get to travel. I've been on 4 continents this year, and I didn't even count how many states. Just got back from Denver, and that was an amazing, beautiful trip with the lights and selling out of the books. So final gratitude, I get to go to Beverly Hills today because it's the holiday celebration for a journal. It's a magazine, a very posh magazine that is the ICCA, and it's a art gallery. Used to be a gallery, and now it's way more than a gallery, but it's in Beverly Hills, and they asked me to write an article called Attracting Happiness. So I get to go up to BH today and enjoy that celebration of the journal launch or this issue launch. And then I will be writing a monthly, not monthly. Yay! Wow. I'm impressed. I am so impressed. You did it. Yay!
We did it.
And
Awesome.
and you're right in the middle of the gratitude sandwich. I haven't finished yet. So you can do, I'm going to say I'm grateful that you got connected. And then if you want to hit the stream, I don't know if your people are on yet. So
Yeah, I gotta share it.
Yeah, but go ahead and do that. And I'm grateful that I got to meet Ricky Rebel earlier this year in a kind of like traumatic event with the affiliation, but it was a wonderful way to come out of something. This has always been my oh dear. Oh, here we go. Yay! This has always been my theory, is that when you go through pain, you come out the other side into power, and power as in power self, skills and abilities, and power relationships. So I would say Ricky and I definitely have a power relationship that came out of the other side of the pain. But I'm so glad you're here. Nice jacket. That is the coolest holiday colored jacket, designer. Wow. That is, well, I match you because I'll match with anybody today. But you didn't, this is the skirt. I don't know if you can see the skirt, but the skirt is pretty cool. This is from China. This is the print.
Oh, I love it.
So it's a Mima skirt. So I'm colorful on the bottom, not colorful on the top. All right. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful to be on the show with you. I'm grateful for our friendship. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my 2 cats, Willow and Maxwell. I'm grateful for my man. I'm grateful for my parents, who I love very much, and my brother and his 2 children.
Aww.
That I'm their uncle to. So yeah.
Are you are you going away for Christmas, or are they coming to you?
I'm gonna go to them this year. Yeah.
So where's that?
The Inland Empire, the IE.
Where we broadcast the strongest. You know
That's right.
You know, this show is #1 talk in the IE at this hour. So
I was born and raised in the IE.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
You didn't know that? Upland, California.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's so cool.
IE native.
Well, you're not. You're on the #1 talk in the IE right now.
Shout out.
The son of the IE is my co-host this morning. All right, here we go. Bottom of the bun. Now, the top of the bun was gratitude for things outside of yourself, and the bottom of the bun is gratitude for things inside of yourself. And the reason why I do this is I want you to work your muscles of self-care, self-love, self-soothing, because when you do that, you're less likely to go look for love in all the wrong places, which is who likes me, and on social media, unfortunately, literally who likes me. So
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that. I want you to know how fabulous you are 88% of the time, so that you're not looking for other people's reactions all the time, which are fickle. People are fickle. You know, they might like
Yeah.
you 1 minute and then they don't the next minute. So that's why we do this exercise. And I'm so proud of Ricky, because he didn't like doing this before, but now he actually not only enjoys it, he's good at it. I mean, he's still, you know, is a little harder on himself than I want him to be, but he's gotten a
Yeah.
lot better. So what do you like about yourself, Ricky?
Here we go. I like that I am a hard worker. I like my never give up spirit. I like my intrepidness, being intrepid.
Ooh, good
Um,
word.
yeah. I like that I am gentle when I need to be and firm when I need to be. Uh,
Fantastic.
I like that I'm open to difference of opinions. I'm being open to different ways of thinking. Just being open minded and being more open minded. I like that about
Fantastic.
myself.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome. And I love how easy that was to come up with 8. I'm now gonna, I don't think I can go as fast as you on that one. I I appreciate that I don't give up very easily. I
Mm,
appreciate that I keep trying, even though my record now, Ricky, I'm still dating. But I've had, out of 853 possible matches, I've
mm.
had 26 first dates, 2 second dates, 1 third date, 1 fourth date, and we're back to the drawing board again.
One
I do
fourth
like
date.
well, and then that was the end of that one, because we were a match for the first 4 dates, and then after that we weren't. Like, you know, when you kiss someone and your toes don't curl, that's usually a sign that it's not a match,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
anyways. And then finally, I appreciate my ability to laugh often and much. It's my favorite sound on the in the world, on the planet.
Yeah. I miss your spirit.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I know we
Happy to be
went.
here.
Well, I just love the fact that I get to use this show to connect with people that I love. So it's wonderful to be able to connect with you over this holiday. And I want to say to you, especially, and your mom and Patrick, that I wish you the most beautiful holiday ever
Thank
together
you.
this season. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's it for breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Ricky Rebel. Let's
here
go.
on Straight Talk. And now, without further ado, it is time for the topic of the day. And this says everything is awesome. Ricky, what is the topic of today?
The topic of the day is Straight Talk on Holiday Blues with Ricky Rebel and Dr. Marissa Pei.
Whoop, whoop. All right.
Yeah.
So, holiday blues.
Holiday Blues.
I'm gonna be my not positive self for a change.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you, let's list as many as we can, not that we hold, but get it out of our system. Everything that you think is out there that you've heard people say, I hate the holidays because. Okay. So this is going to be hard for both of us because we don't like to focus on that stuff. But I think it is like true for some. So we'll just put it out there. So I'll just go one that I actually
I've heard.
feel. I'll own it. But is it weird that, I don't know, right after Thanksgiving, all of a sudden people forget how to drive. Either they forget how to drive, or all
Yeah.
of a sudden they get super aggressive about, like, we're all trying to get things prepared, like we all are. But
Yeah.
I am like, what is going on?
And did it seem like the traffic like built up a lot recently? Is that just me?
No, I
No?
went to my UCLA holiday event up. You know, on the 405, there used to be a Holiday Inn in that tall building to the side. It's like round. So now it's a
Right.
hotel. So we had it up there, and you get a straight view of the freeway 405 all the way down. It was red the entire way. And if
Wow.
I had left after it was over, it would have taken me 2.5 hours to get home.
Crazy.
So
Crazy.
I stopped
Yeah.
and had some dinner so that it would only take me half that time. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely, I don't know.
I was gonna go to an event, the Nosferatu movie premiere, and I was so excited. And I got in my car. You know when you're getting ready, and at first it says, "Oh, it's gonna take an hour and 10 minutes to get there." You're like, great. So you're doing your hair, your makeup, you're all done. You got your outfit on, you're ready to go, and it's 2 hours now to get there. And I was like, oh my gosh, it grew from the time I had put my outfit on
Yep.
and everything. So I couldn't go. I was
Oh,
pretty bummed. But
mm,
yeah, the traffic is crazy right now.
it is
I
very
think
good.
people something that they talk about the holiday blues having to do with, and I will own this, is like it's coming to the end of the year, so you're starting to think about all of the things that you did or didn't accomplish throughout that year. So I think that people are kind of assessing like that whole thing: am I enough? Am I good enough? Did I accomplish enough in this year? All the things that I said I was going to do. And I think people start to feel bad about themselves, thinking about like, oh, I didn't do this. I haven't done this yet, or, that type of thing. And I'm definitely guilty of that. I think about all the things like I wanted to do. Um, but at the same time, I think this show is about kind of looking at how we can do the spin. That's why I'm here with you, Dr. Marissa. Because I'm like, how can we flip the script on this idea, or reframe it
Yep. Yep.
in a more positive way?
And I was gonna wait until we finish the Baaa Humbug portion, but I'm going to flip it right now, so to put you out of your agony. How's that?
Let's go. I'm ready.
Are you ready? And Leo, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Self-driving
Leo.
vehicles can't get going soon enough. Yeah. Although I love driving, to be honest, and I am weird that way. I'll never forget, I took my kids down for a women's conference when they were teenagers, and they had their friends in the car. I was one of the designated drivers. And I
Yeah.
can remember saying out loud, I love driving. And her friend in the back goes, I have never heard an adult say that ever. So, all right. So let's look at that. It's interesting, Ricky. I'm glad you raised this because I've talked about holiday blues, but the two aspects I've talked about are missing people, during the holidays that aren't here anymore,
Mm,
and also the the family dysfunction, going to get together with family that you really aren't that excited about seeing. And with all the stuff with politics this year, there's a lot more rifts than normal. But this aspect of reviewing your year and not being happy with what you've done, I haven't hit that angle. So I'm so glad you brought this up. So here
good.
we go. Here we go. So this I usually do this on stage, but I can't really do it on camera, except look at it this way. So here you are, Ricky, and this side is 0 and this side is 88%. And you've done so many things this year that, go right up to 88%. And you have a habit because you're a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist too. And because you are learning how to be not so hard on yourself, but you still have a habit of being hard on yourself, your tendency is to focus. If this is 0 and this is 100 and you're at 88%, instead of turning around and looking at all the things that you have accomplished, which is freaking amazing. I know of Sony released a music video. You had 2 categories of Grammy consideration. You performed. You did new things. You had projects. You were producing. You were helping someone. You were writing. You were, I could spend the rest of the show talking about the 88% of this year of the things that you've accomplished, but you are standing on the line. Instead of looking at the 88 that you've done, you're standing looking at the 12% that you have not completed. And that, my friend, is unhappiness making. And of course, you're going to have the holiday blues. But your choice is to turn around and look at the 88% and tell the voice that says, yeah, but you didn't finish this, and you said you were going to do that, and you didn't finish that, and you should have done this, and should. And you can say, thank you very much, critic. You are here to make sure I, do the best that I can, but I did do the best that I can. And there were plenty of things and good reasons for why it is as it is. And it wasn't the right time. It's always this or better. And I'm good. And I want to enjoy the 88% that I have accomplished. Because if you don't, it's a miserable life. I'll be happy when I finish this. I'll be happy when I finish that. You finished so many things that you said, I'll be happy if I finish it. But were you happy when you finished it? Maybe for a California second. Oh, yay! And then boom, you're off to the next thing.
Right. It's
and
true.
The only person that can give you enough kudos is you, boo.
Hello. Drop that moose.
I just went looking for my moose. That was a moose drop.
So true.
So
yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna do this with you because Instagram actually offers a look back this last year and asks you to pick out the pictures. So we're gonna do this together, and we're gonna do a little scan of this last year because I'm guilty of this too. So we're gonna do this, and Leo is definitely agreeing with us on the perfection thing.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
No. All right. So I'm looking back at my scan, and I am so proud of myself for speaking at 2 universities in China this year.
Cool.
Okay. And you?
I am grateful that, like you said, you mentioned I was up for 2 Grammy nominations for consideration, Best Pop Vocal and Best Album of the Year. And that was from a record that I did a lot of self-production on. So it's given me a lot of confidence in my own production skills, because if it wasn't produced well enough to be considered, it would not have been considered by the Grammys. So that meant a lot to me
Yeah. So
this
just
year.
like breathe into that for a second. Like you've said this before, but I really want you to feel like how many people even can say that they were considered? How many people have produced an album? How many people have stayed in the music scene for as long as you have? And you started and were discovered by Michael Jackson many, many, many years ago, and you're still current. I mean, that in it of itself is a huge thing. You know, there's a lot of one hit wonders out there who I'm not taking away from them. They're
Right.
brilliant. But to even stay in the music scene and stay current and stay, you know, producing and singing and writing, that's an
Yeah.
accomplishment. So just
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah. That's
Do you
true.
feel that?
I do. I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So that I want you, the reason why I'm doing this too is that when you're alone and that critic comes out, what are we calling your critic? It's good to name your critic. I can't remember the name of your critic.
I can't remember either. Was it
Um,
Sammy?
Sammy. I think it was Sammy. So thank you very much, Sammy. Here, you know, this is, we
Or
have
was it
this.
Simon?
Oh, it was Simon. It was Simon. Thank you very much, Simon. But you know, I've done more producing and songwriting and singing than you have.
Right. Right.
So it's so important to acknowledge you, because if
Yeah.
you wait for somebody else to acknowledge you, you know, they may like you one day, as I said before, and not like the next. So okay, so
Right. Right.
that's 3 or 4 right there. I was able to go and speak in Denver and sell out of my books. So that was an accomplishment.
Amazing.
That was an accomplishment.
Amazing.
Your turn.
I love that. Sheesh. Let me see.
You
There was
became a
some.
co-host on a
Yeah.
show.
Yes. On NBC News.
Yes.
Hello. That happened
Hello.
this year, right?
Yes, it did happen this year.
Yes. That's amazing.
Okay.
I had to look back. You know, that's why I like that Instagram thing, because it makes you like able to see all
Yes.
the different
Things
things
that
that
you
you've
have done.
accomplished. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
You know,
challenge for everybody listening and watching now or later. I want you to do that. I
yeah.
want you to, whether you're on Instagram or not, just go and go back in your photos and just heart the ones that, you know, and I promise you, you'll have a smile on your face by the end, because you'll remember. It's a tool called Turning on a Dime of Memories that I have in my book.
Mm,
You know, whenever you're not feeling good about yourself, the easiest way to flip that is to go back and look at all the amazing things that you've done and experienced, and how you've helped people and helped yourself and had an amazing adventure. You know, all of us have, but we forget. We're just like squirrel, you know, the latest thing. And we
yeah.
forget
Yeah.
how great our lives are.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. One of the cool things that happened was being invited to premiere the Tris Hotel in Puerto Vallarta, all expenses paid. That was so much fun to be around all of those people, very accomplished celebrities and influencers. You know, we're all coming together and having a good time, and we were treated like royalty. So I really enjoyed that trip. I think that was one of the coolest things that happened this year as far as like traveling was concerned. I loved it.
Super cool. I got to also sell out when I was in Australia. That was at the beginning of the year. Actually,
Nice.
it was in 6 days, it'll be a year ago, I was recognized twice on Bondi Beach, halfway around the world. One person
Wow.
recognized me because of my interview with Halle Berry that's on YouTube, on my YouTube
Hmm.
channel. And another person recognized me because of the Tai Chi I do at Agape retreats. So she
Cool.
had recognized me from that. So that was amazing. Halfway around the world, people know who I am and what I represent. So
That's so great. I
isn't
love
that
that.
great? Your
Yeah.
turn.
Oh gosh. Without my Instagram in front of me,
Well, you can.
um,
Oh yeah, you're on the phone.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
Maybe you could take a look at my Instagram account. I've been
yeah.
to a
Maybe.
lot of great movie premieres this year. Um, red carpet interview, red carpet premieres. Um, one in particular I really thought was cool was the Joe Jonas movie that happened. Um, I got to see him and be on the red carpet, and it was a wild experience. There was so much press and mayhem, complete mayhem. But yeah, like being invited to go on the red carpet at an event like that, and is an accomplishment in of itself because it's like, you know, I've been through a lot of different ups and downs in my career, and or I guess what do you call it, like
Up and ups.
up and ups and right and lefts, extreme rights and extreme lefts in my career, and so I think there was a time when I wasn't really invited to places like that, to big events like that. Now it's just I am being invited. So every single time I get to go, it's just a really cool, like, yes, I'm on the right path. It's like it's showing me that I'm, you know, being for all the people. Like that's what I want the world to know is like I love all types of people, people that lean this way, lean that way, whatever, like I'm that kind of guy. So I really hope that I made that message clear to the universe. I think I have,
Yep, for
but
sure.
for sure, I hope
For
so.
sure. For sure.
That's
I know
good,
so. I know
good,
so.
good.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
have.
really think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
After everything is said and done with that roller coaster,
So
like,
Europe Music Video Awards is on your
yeah, yeah.
Instagram. Hello.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the one of the I forgot about that. One of my music videos was up for or won best music video at the European Music Video Awards.
Yeah, I didn't even
We
know that.
I forgot about that.
See? Hello.
No, there were so many awards that this video won. I can't even tell you because my friend he is an investor. Well, he is an entrepreneur, celebrity, producer. He lives in Japan and he loves me. I love him. We made this music video together to my song called Sonic Boom. And we're like traveling around in Japan in Harajuku, shooting this wild, cool music video. And he submitted it into like so many festivals, and so many festivals like picked it up and gave it awards. So I was like, dang, he'd be texting, he'd be emailing me every day. Oh, we won this award. We won this award. We won this one too. It was crazy.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
if
forgot
if
about that.
yes, and if Simon, is driving your life car, you would have forgotten that. But Dr. Marissa is working with Balance Centered Ricky to remind you of why there's no reason to have blues during the holiday. I mean, you can be blue for a minute. I don't want you to do any kind of spiritual bypass on your feelings if they're not happy, because you got to feel sad. You have to feel unhappy to know what it is to be
Right.
happy, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's been this incredible habit, and not incredible in a not great way, that we
Yeah.
have like a default of being pissed off I mean, people wake up pissed off, and
Yeah.
it's like it's ridiculous, and
Yeah.
it's scary because energy is, law of attraction. Whatever you're focused on will grow bigger, and if you're pissed off, that pissed offness will get bigger if you keep focusing on what you don't like or what you are
Mm.
disappointed in yourself or others, and it just keeps going and going. And that's a collective energy, and it has built this country that is not very united because of just that
Mm.
constant habit of moaning and beaching and complaining, and it's a
Focusing
choice
on what's wrong, focusing on what's wrong
instead of
rather
what's
than what is right. Yeah.
paranoia instead
Or
of pronoia, best case scenario instead of worst case scenario, right? In every category of your life, you can either look at the side that's working or look at the side that's not working. In
mm.
every single category, your relationship with
Mm.
your mother, your relationship with
Mhm.
Patrick, your relationship with your cats, your
Yep.
relationship
Yep.
with your
Yep.
co-writers, your relationship with me, your relationship with all the people in your life. You can
That's
either
true.
focus on the things that are working well or the ones that are pissing you off. Same thing with all the topics that are on the news. You either have a choice
Right.
of, being hijacked and news media. Most media is a weapon of mass distraction. You can be distracted into whatever the producer wants you to think, which is usually what's wrong with people, right? Or you can not have a TV like me and not start my day with the news and not do
Right.
this
Right.
in the morning, which is MS, meaningless scrolling. That's a
Mm.
choice. It's a choice. That's the word,
Right. Right. It's
right?
like these two realities are existing at the same time. And it's like we have the power to choose what is going to be the predominant reality of our own lives and what direction our lives are going to go into by that choice. If we
Exactly.
focus too much on what is wrong with the world or what is wrong with inside of us or reality, etc., it's going to go life is going to give you more demonstrations of that idea. It's going to give you it's going to say, yeah, actually you're right about whichever perspective you choose. So it's like,
Yes.
why not choose the perspective that's going to lead you to more happiness, more joy, more fulfillment, more of this great, feeling.
Perfect. That's a moose drop.
Moose
That's the
trap.
summary of exactly your choice in life. And unfortunately, people don't use the most powerful tool they have in life to have a good life, which is choice. And if you are a person that is a worrywart or is always seeing what's wrong,
Mm,
half
mhm,
empty, it's a choice. People say to me all the time, but that's the way I grew up. That's the way I am. That's the way I'm
mm,
made. That's my personality. Bullshit talkie. That's your habit.
mm,
You're just
mm.
used to doing that. So then I put
Right.
them on a treatment plan called the 21-day fast from complaining. So for 21 consecutive days, can you
I need
not
that.
complain?
I need that in my life right now.
And it's easy to join. I started it in 2011. There are
Mm,
hundreds of
mm,
thousands of people around the world who've tried it, and only 5 people have made 21 consecutive days without complaining. So you
yeah.
donate $21 at my website that goes to my nonprofit. If you complete it, honor system, I will give you $42. So I'll give you double your money back. No one's ever done it. No one's ever complained either, because
Right.
it's a good life habit. It makes you so, the number one thing people go, I had no idea how much complaining that I do on a daily basis. So day one is
Right.
awareness day. just count how many times you complain. And that's your baseline.
And it's funny because, you could play that game of not complaining. You could say to yourself, well, I'm just not going to outwardly say my complaint. Like, do they count like what's happening inside the mind as well?
No, that's graduate school. That would be impossible.
Okay. So I was going to say, it's one thing to think something. It's a whole other thing to say something. So I think I would be able to, it'd be a fun exercise to like not say it. There's so many times where you're just like, does this really need to be said? Right? It's like, I know I'm feeling this way, or I know this is the way that this is. Let's think about ways that we can make it better, like actions that we can take, as opposed to just like saying it. Like, what is the point? It's, really, what is really the point of that? Like, we got to think about, okay, this is happening here. Let's figure out how we can work it out here. For instance, like my right knee is sore. I've been working out a lot. But look at all the other muscle groups that are happening, that are healthy. I'm saying we focus on the only thing, right? But what we could say is, instead of complaining about it, we could say, okay, this is what I'm doing to counteract that. I'm really working out my outer thighs or my glutes. I'm really going to put the band on. I'm really going to take time to just kind of really warm up those muscle groups, make sure that I'm using the right muscles and not using my knee. Instead, I'm using my hip abductors, for instance, firing those up before I do certain exercises. And then all of a sudden, you're in the right frame of mind. You're not complaining. You're taking action towards, positive results.
Exactly. Dr. David Simon, who's the co-founder of Deepak Chopra's center, the Chopra Center in San Diego, he had a living memorial. So he gathered everyone together before he died. He was a neurologist and he had a brain tumor. So he knew he was going to die. And instead of having a funeral, he wanted to have a living, right? So he spoke like 2 weeks, I think, before he passed. And I'll never forget, I live his legacy of these words that he shared, which was, before you open your mouth, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? If you can't say yes to all 3 things, keep your front door shut. So I try to live by that. And
beautiful.
When I get riled up by someone, and I will actually type or text, but not send it. I won't send it for 24 hours.
Right.
I hit save draft, and almost always it's not something I want to send. Right. So it is that pause when agitated. So, or restraint of pen and tongue, or restraint of text and thumb. But we have to take a quick station ID break for news and weather. If you've just tuned in, we've got more eyeballs coming in. Feel free to chat. And the topic is holiday blues here on Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Ricky Rebel.
On Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Aw, you got hearts there. In 2 and 2, don't go away. I think StreamYard's trying to say sorry for the trouble this morning. But Chuck Woolery says, and he's on the other side, we'll be back in 2 and 2. But we're going to say peace in, peace out. We'll be right back.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pei's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, which hosts all 1,292 of my podcast shows, but who's counting? And also my red carpet playlist, where you can see, as you saw in the promo, interviews, full interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, who's also on the other side now, loving us from there and complimenting me in Chinese and flirting with me, which is one of my best memories of my past. But we're here on Straight Talk, my very popular series where we kind of tell it like it is and put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room, and my fabulous co-host every first and third Friday, Ricky Rebel. And for those of you who don't know him, I didn't give him a proper introduction because we were having some technical opportunities for improvement, but he's a Billboard Top 40 recording artist, as seen on tour with Britney Spears. He's been a Grammy member since 2017, part of the voting member for the Recording Academy, discovered by Michael Jackson, signed to his label Sony, and later signed to Madonna's record label, Maverick Records. And we just hit a bunch of things that he has been very accomplished at, to be under Grammy nominee consideration in 2 categories this year. But that is like just the tip of the iceberg. What we're doing today, the topic is
we are talking about holiday blues. And
Ricky,
how to overcome them, right?
And that's what he wanted. It was his way of getting me to address this for him, which I love doing anyway.
You got me. I was like, let's talk about this.
I love it. Free happiness coaching on the show, as it should be. And because, Ricky is beautifully real. And as we all
thank you.
And he is, a great example of someone who is in the limelight, but keeps it real in order to help all of us. We're all human, and we all, the imposter syndrome, fake it till you make it, fear of failure, fear of success, perfectionism, all of those things affect us. And if we don't talk about it, not a lot of people want to go into therapy. Not a lot of people want to admit, like, if you grew up like I did. You know, you don't air dirty laundry. So you certainly don't talk about things that are, you know, vulnerable or about insecurity. But hey, folks, we got to do that. And I'm so glad I have a course that I designed and just started teaching at UCLA. And I met with the administrators and, you know, about putting it in different places at UCLA. So it's great. We're starting to talk about it, right? And I love talking about it with you because you're such a great coachee. You listen, you take it to heart, and then I get front row seats to watch you be happier 1% at a time. So it's great.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Thank you. And holiday blues, hopefully we have addressed how you can have a better holiday. If you're beating yourself up, there's no reason to. Make yourself a montage of all the things that you were able to do this year. And like Ricky, you're going to remember things and say, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And I also remember one for you that you didn't bring up. Your group, No Authority, is getting back to do some stuff together. That's a huge accomplishment.
Being featured in People magazine is talking about it as well. So that's pretty cool. They're ready for it. So I gotta get the boys in a rehearsal studio soon. That's the next thing that's gonna happen.
And you did Brandon TV. You didn't bring that up, so that was
I did not. Yeah, I've signed a deal with them. Yeah,
you helped a friend produce. Look, I think you're PR. I mean, come on. I mean, I know. At the top of my head, and you're just focused on things you haven't done.
Well, I have a memory like a goldfish, like you, so I can't unless it's right in front of me. I can't remember it. So, but yeah, I have been producing a lot of cool people. I'm making a really cool record right now. I'm really proud of. It's a group called Super Deluxe Vibe Machine, and we're like this kind of disco pop party. We're gonna put parties together, and all my friends are gonna come and perform, and we're just gonna have like a Studio 54 fun night, you know, that we're developing, and the record's coming together. It's gonna be so cool. So yeah, I've been making that album. I made an album for made records for Samantha Hart, Jonathan Fairchild, and other artists. Yeah, because we're starting a label. So, and I'm going to be the head of it. So, lots happening.
And I'll do me because I've also forgot a couple of things. I took my daughter to China with me, so that was cool. Her first time in Hong Kong and Taiwan and Beijing and Shanghai. I also went to New Zealand for the first time and got to scuba there. I have spoken in, I think we're now over 40 countries now, and brought my Happy 88 mission into all of those places. I produced my first feature film called The Road to Race. I got a laurel on my short film, Post-Pandemic Possibilities. I am writing my first screenplay called Life by 1,000 Cuts. And I did my first stand-up comedy on the stage of Hollywood Comedy, which is huge, something that I wanted to do. And it was so awesome. It was so awesome. Yeah, I loved it. And I think I'm going to go up and do a practice run today, because I finally finished my sketch on dating. That's something I tried this year for the first time after 7 years of being happily single. So after 853 matches I've had, I think I told you this already. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I don't want to repeat. So anyway, so that was an accomplishment. So I'm
Very
remembering
cool.
you. So,
You're
and
remembering. We're both remembering
we
how
are,
great
and we
our
are,
lives are. Yeah.
and that is the best way to get your holiday blues to turn pink is we have we've demonstrated that today. Hopefully you are seeing and hearing and following. We still have our eyeballs in our cashew gallery. You got a finger somewhere along the line. Somebody gave us this
Oh,
finger.
cool. Very
So
cool.
thank you very much. And final word, we got to go off in a second.
Final
We're running
word.
out of time.
All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody all my supporters out there. If you want to have any more information about my music or what I'm up to, you can find me at Ricky Rebel Rocks on all social media platforms, or you can find me also on rickyrebelrocks.com. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you can find me at Doc Balance on Instagram. If you just use my assistant Google and put in Asian Oprah, I was actually introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah, didn't make the name up myself. And so you'll find me there and love to connect. 21 Day Fast from Complaining. I think let's do that, Ricky. Let's challenge people to
Let's
do
do
that.
it.
Let's do it together. You want to start on the first?
Yeah, let's try on the first. It's going to be
Okay.
hard, but I'm up for the challenge.
I'll send you the link. All right,
All
folks.
right.
Thanks so much for joining us. You know the drill. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room with my fabulous Straight Talk co-host.
Ricky Rebel, thank you.
And now go and have the best, weekend
weekend
ever. Woohoo!